looked at my wife and I said, I made a mistake. And she looked at me and she was like, what'd you do?
And there I was, an aspiring West Coast rapper myself. I am on a mission. I am on a mission to hack my classroom, your classroom, and every classroom across the globe.
Well, good morning, all my fine, fabulous YouTube friends. Welcome back to camp. My name's Brian. Playing with a new microphone, seeing if you can hear me from way over there. Well, guys, my social media is a disaster. So I think this is going to be a confessional video. How did we get here? Where did we come from? And where are we even going? Thing seems to be incredibly sensitive. So, we're gonna try and put it on my shoe. Put it right there. Test, test, test microphone. I'm sore just from cutting the grass. Things we say now. Hashtag in our 40s. Well, guys. My God. Set up the shot. Set up the whole shot here, and there's a giant Sea-Doo hitch in the way. Unsubscribe, thumbs down. How's that? I think that'll do just fine. Good morning. Oh. Get out of the game. Is this even gonna happen today? Oh dear. What was I saying? Good morning. My name is Brian. I'm unemployed and homeless. I'm unemployed and homeless. How did we get here? Well, for some of you who only follow in this space, you probably don't know about our almost 2 decades in the education field. If you follow me on Twitter or X, you'll know that I've been a teacher for 18 years. I spent 12 years in the classroom. I taught at the university for 6 or 7 years, and I did a lot of consulting work. Computer science was my undergrad at the university level, and I graduated at the turn of the century when the whole world was fighting the Y2K bug. So if you knew how to turn on the computer and you were good at math, quite easy to get a teaching job, especially for a male. And we teach to our strengths, and so I've been coding with students in my classroom since I started. 2006. I ended up delivering 3 TED Talks along the way. I've written a handful of books. I did some consulting work for Microsoft. Flew to Budapest to talk about Minecraft in education, but I wasn't happy. If you follow me on Twitter, it looks like I just do education. If you follow me on Instagram, it looks like I'm just a mess. Half my posts are about sobriety, half are about building houses, and some of them are about book publishing. We do book publishing too. You want to come and tell the story? When my consulting work in education sort of took off before the pandemic, I gained a rather decent following on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. But airports suck, and traveling sucks, and time zones suck. I did it, I enjoyed it, but I'm happy that, the pandemic forced me to sort of ground myself, if you will, and get out of that space. In a previous life, I was an app developer too. I built and flipped a couple of apps in my early 30s. I say this from a humble place. I have a generous list of accolades that I'm incredibly proud of. And I promise you, we're not here to brag about those things, but they do provide context into how and why I walked away from all of it. Come and tell me about it, Stevie. Why don't you tell the world to hit the subscribe button and like this video and leave us a comment down below. You don't have to kick the microphone though. Okay, get your butt out of the shot. We're trying to tell stories. Good girl. Where was I? 2016, a colleague nominated me for the Canadian Prime Minister's Award, and I won. And I was only one of 15 teachers across the entire country to win, the highest honor in education. And I absolutely loved it. I'm not here to bash on education in any way, shape, or form, but when you start piling on the accolades, there's a lot of ego in those spaces, and there was a lot of politics, and I just chose to go out on my own. Read between the lines. But I think the biggest risk I ever took, I know the biggest risk I ever took was on myself. When I resigned from teaching, I pulled my pension out and we invested it in real estate. And that's how this journey, this new journey we're on, began. So if you're just joining us and my clickbait title got you, I resigned from my teaching job last December. And according to the municipality, I don't live anywhere because we're building a garage cabin and it's not deemed it's not legally livable space currently, so it makes it hard to borrow money from a bank when you're unemployed and homeless. But here we are trying to build two cabins on the lake and build a community in this space. I haven't a clue what we're doing. So about 10 years ago I gave my first TED Talk. It was live on TV. All my students watched. It was one of the highest moments, of my life. Incredibly proud of that moment. I've since given 2 more TED Talks talking about artificial intelligence and computer science and the importance of those tools and technologies through an equity lens. I'm a straight white male, so I try to recognize the privileges that the world provides me just based solely on those factors. I try to be mindful of students who don't have access to internet at home when we're giving homework out. It was just a lot of moving parts and forced us to walk away from the formal education space. I'm sharing this video with you today because one of my university faculties just offered me a summer semester and I turned it down just last weekend. Do you want to come and say good morning? If you're going to walk by in mid-thought, I've lost the thought. You got to come and say good morning now. Say, don't get too close to the microphone. No, to them.
Morning.
Good morning. How's it going? How does it feel to be homeless? Steph was also an educator, resigned during the pandemic because teaching science from a textbook behind plexiglass is a gong show. Okay, what were we saying? So, early in my teaching career, I started using my coding skills on the side to build a few apps to use in education because I couldn't find certain apps in education. I mean, this is over a decade ago. And I started to take some heat from my school board because I was getting recognition across the globe in the news and being asked to speak at conferences. When you work for a publicly funded school board, that can be problematic. But little arrogant, late 20-somethings me didn't know the politics of the workplace, so to speak. As my consulting work started to blow up, I found myself living in airports, which at the beginning was just amazing, glamorous. And then all of a sudden I wake up one day and I realize that, we're using alcohol to cope with life, so to speak, to escape life, not as a weekend celebration of it. And I don't know when that changed, but when you're doing shots between connecting flights, something's gotta give. So we sold our house, we quit our teaching jobs, we pulled out our pension, we bought this property. I haven't been doing consulting work in the last year, and I don't know if I will in the coming year. I enjoy it, I truly do. But in the last few years, along this journey, we started a publishing business. I wrote my first book in 2017, and then seeing the pandemic, I wanted to leverage my network to tell the stories of other educators that need to be heard. And that's how Codebreaker, the publishing firm, was born. And so I've taken a back seat to the consulting work, trying to create room for my colleagues and some of the authors in our Codebreaker camp to do their own consulting work and establish their own brands and do the things that they want to do with their own professional worlds. So that's where we're at. We're trying to do this real estate game. I'm trying to launch a publishing business. Don't currently collect any kind of a pay stub in any capacity, and we cashed in our pensions. So if you want to watch us continue to spiral out of control, go ahead and hit that like button. Well, this microphone's great. We could do a lot of dockside confessions out here even when it's windy. This is fantastic. So I currently live in a garage, trying to start a publishing business and build a community on YouTube. The teacher part of me wants to continue to model lifelong learning, and so I've chosen to do that in the YouTube space. I want to continue to model and continue to teach. I guess y'all are my students now. No politics here. Well, I anticipate there to be politics down in the comments, but that's your problem, not mine. So I guess, thanks for following this gnarly adventure we call life. Today is my 557th day without alcohol consecutively. I drank almost every day for 10 years in various forms. You know, a couple of beers here and there. We think it's not a big deal until it's a glass of wine every night, and then it's a bottle of wine every night, and it goes from there, you know. And then all of a sudden you realize that you're using alcohol just to function with life. Nah. So I'm not here to shame anybody. Just, you know, you matter. Mental health matters. And so we took a deep dive on our own. And when you have to make, why am I holding the sandal microphone? Sometimes making drastic life changes involves not fixing the parts you feel are broken, but just starting over, right? So gave it all up, fresh start. Here we are with y'all. Thanks for joining us on this gnarly adventure. That's about all I have to say today. I do appreciate you. We appreciate you immensely for following along on this journey. And end this video here. I think it's time for a workout and a shower. The sun is starting to rise. We're gonna head over to the other cabin build site today. Keep filming there, keep working on that. Hopefully we'll bring it to y'all. Hopefully we will bring you all that content. If you'd like to support our work, feel free to buy us a coffee. There's a link in the description below. Or buy one of my books. Shameless plug. Oh, Hack the Class. I didn't mention Hack the Class. So I have always wanted to film a documentary, and my hopes are to eventually create a project where I can film the author, educator, teachers in the Codebreaker camp and show the world the truly remarkable things they do with their students every single day. So the goal here is to use YouTube. The goal here is to use YouTube as a launch pad and to create a buzz around all the cool things we're doing now with film in the Codebreaker land and our authors are doing with students in their classroom. Check us out, codebreakeredu.com, hacktheclass.com. Please follow me across all social media channels, and peace and love from Canada's most southern mainland shoreline. Give somebody close to you a hug, tell them they matter, and don't forget, you matter. Live tiny, dream big. I'll leave you, as I always do, with 20 seconds.